Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the Nash County Board of Education's December 4th meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, and we are joined tonight by students from Bailey Elementary School. We are joined by Ariel Aguilera, Kyrian DeBro, Presley Waller, Levi Killian, and Mila Aranda Mendoza. On three. 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, shake his hand. He's waiting to shake your hand. See you later. Can I have his hand? Great job, man. Great job. Great job.
They did an awesome job. Let's give them a hand.
It was good. That was really good.
All right, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adopt tonight's agenda.
Madam Chair, I move we adopt the agenda for tonight.
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our last board meeting.
Madam Chair, I make the motion we approve the minutes from the last board meeting.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Vice Chair Dunton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 5 on our agenda is recognitions. Dr. Ellis.
Ms. Finch is going to introduce this group.
So good evening. Tonight we're recognizing the Superintendent Student Ambassador Council. So please come forward when I call your name. Miracle King, Kristen Hope Lee, she's not here this evening. Raven Whitaker, Jayla Williams, Hugh Sincere Thompson, AJ So, Hadley Pridgeon, and Annie Poulin. Also, Brittany Navira and Sophia Villagomez Perez is not here as well. Thank you.
All right, let's give them a hand again. Thank them for coming and thank them for all they do. Awesome job. All right, we're at agenda item number 6, which is our public input. We will now hear public comments. Speakers will be called in the order in which they signed up. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. Yielding time to other speakers is not permitted. If a speaker has written materials they would like to share, they can hand them to me and I will distribute them to board members upon coming to the podium. If a speaker is not able to present all of their information within their 3 minutes, the speaker may provide the board with additional information in writing. Additional time is not allowed under the policy. The purpose of public comment is for the board to hear from members of the public, not to engage in back and forth discussions. Per our policy, board members will not respond to speakers during the public comment session, except if clarification is needed on points made by the presenter. The board greatly values public feedback and welcomes all comments, regardless of viewpoint. However, please be reminded that children are often present at these meetings and that our public comment policy prohibits profanity, vulgarity, and personal abuse of any person. We ask that all comments be civil, respectful, and free of personal attacks. In addition, since individual school personnel matters are confidential under state law, we ask that concerns related to individual confidential personnel issues be addressed to applicable school district officials or the superintendent, or through relevant policies and grievance procedures. And finally, any speaker who disrupts our public comment period or otherwise exceeds the bounds of order and decorum will be given a warning. Continued violations may result in the speaker being ruled out of order, at which point we will move on to the next speaker. We do have one individual signed up for public input tonight. If Ms. Crystal Wimes Anderson is here, please come down.
Good evening, how are y'all?
Good evening.
All right. I always teach my students to advocate for themselves and advocate for their patients as I'm a nursing instructor. But what good is advocating if the persons with the ultimate decision and pen to change things aren't listening or have already prejudged the situation? Advocacy is what I teach my children as well. And if they don't get it fixed, call mama. Well, they called mama, and back on March 5th, 2022, I submitted a request to speak at this council, but I didn't make it because I was coaching. However, that request was in regards to a transfer that I asked of my children because they didn't feel safe at their schools. Well, that request was denied, and that decision to deny it actually continues to have long-lasting effects on my family to this day. Well, there were additional requests, there were additional remarks, there were additional requests to the administration of the schools, and those too were ignored. So now we're here, 3 children in the public school system. They're all out now, not due to their own, but now they're in private school. And every month when we pay $1,600 a month for school, it's because of the decisions that had lasting effects. Well, I have a child that was actually molested by one of the teachers in the school systems. And I spoke up, he spoke up, but yet it was not listened to. So as I'm standing here before you, I'm asking that you start taking into consideration things that are presented. When a parent says that there is an issue, take more concerns, get on the ground and find out what's going on. Because there are still other parents and other students that have been affected and will have long-lasting effects on their mental. So I'm asking you as a community member to take a more look into what's going on in our school systems, because there are still safety issues that's going on right now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're moving on to business item number 7, which is business items, excuse me. We'll start with donations and Dr. Ellis.
So board, please accept this request for the following donations. Nash Central Middle School received the following donation. Wake Electric gave a $2,959 grant to be used for a Bright Ideas STEM project. Northern Nash High School received the following donation. Northern Nash class of 1973 donated $1,908 to be used for general fund. Present this to the board.
All right, is there a motion to approve the donations as presented?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the donations as presented, as Donna would say, with much gratitude and thanks.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member Edwards. Was that right?
Gray.
Or Gray, excuse me, for the record. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thanks. All right, personnel recommendations. Mrs. Wallace?
Board Chair Dr. Washington, Vice Chair Dunton, President and virtual board members, good evening. The personnel report has been discussed and reviewed. On behalf of Superintendent Ellis, your approval is requested at this time.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to accept the personnel recommendations as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Board Member Lamb, seconded by Board Member Sharp. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, agenda item number 8, the policy committee report. Ms. Bullock will start, and then Vice Chair Dunton will pick up.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The policy that I will be talking about this evening is policy number 7940, classified personnel suspension and dismissal. And this is for final approval, and I move that we give final approval to this policy.
Motion has been made by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Board Member Lamb. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Recorded for the record. All right, motion carried. Mr. Dunton?
Thank you, Dr. Washington. We had 6 policies that had minor changes, all with changes to legal references contained within the policies. 4130, 4150, 4334, 5035, 7345, and then 6230, policy 7232, and policy 7820. I move that we approve this slate of policies with minor changes.
Motion has been made by Vice Chair Dunton. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion seconded by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Yes.
Could we just go give the names for each of those, please? I apologize.
You mean the
Yes.
description of
Yes.
the policy?
Yes.
Thank you.
1 second, please.
Got it.
So that would be, do you need with the numbers as well to read back?
Please, yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. 4130 is discretionary admissions. 4150 is school assignment. 4334, 5035, 7345 is use of unmanned aircraft, drones. 6230, school meal and competitive food standards. Policy 7232, discrimination and harassment in the workplace. And then finally 7820 is personnel files.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Madam Chair, this is for the first read.
We have 6 more policies with substantive changes. These are 1310 402 parental involvement, 3610 counseling program, and with that, there was also going to be a change in the start date to reflect the 24-25 school year. I believe, Mr. Weber.
That's right. Section C, recommended revision to that first sentence was to state beginning with the
4040-7310, staff student relations, 4110, immunization and health requirements for school admission, 4240-7312, child abuse and related threats to child safety, and 4342, student searches. So I move that we accept all these for a first read, with the noted changes.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Board Member Dunton, seconded by Board Member E. Bullock. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, next report, we'll hear from the Administrative Services and Operations Committee, Mr. Sharp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things that we had, one item that need, approval and two for information only. The first item that's needed for approval is actually the Swift Creek and Cedar Grove supply sales. The committee decided, made a motion to bring to this board that we approve the recommendation by the superintendent, for the Swift Creek and Cedar Grove surplus. So I'm making a motion, we approve those surplus sales.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Vice Chair Dunton. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
The other thing, just for information only, we did have the audit by the CPA firm, Anderson, Smith and Whites. We had three documents that was presented. Document one was it was actually a management letter. It basically talked about the internal control structures and the determinant that we were in compliance with the auditing procedures that was called out. The next document was document 98. That's an audit, that was the audit of financial statements according to the governmental activities for the fiscal year 6/30/23. And the last one, but certainly not least, was the full audit. It shows all the business type activity that was took place. And inside that full audit, it showed all the major fundings and all the aggregate remaining fundings in detail. There's a breakout. So I thought they did a phenomenal job as far as the audit, and I appreciate Dr. Ellis, you and your staff. She's in the back someplace. Thank you, Ms. Shannon, for what you guys do. Shanice, great job doing that, and Dr. Ellis, we really appreciate that. The last thing on the agenda was the emergency situation. I'm gonna let Dr. Ellis talk to that one, as far as what we talked through with that.
So all we went over was the transfer of student plan that Mr. Ward presented at our first meeting last week. I believe there's one upcoming another week, if I'm correct, Mr. Ward. Yep. So that's the transfer plan, and that'll be the next thing we'll be talking about at the next administrative committee meeting is the facilities plan and HR.
Thank you, Dr. Ellis and Mr. Sharp. Student Support Services and Operations Committee, Mr. Edwards.
The Student Support Services Operation Committee met and we discussed, for information only, a transportation update by Mr. Bear. And we also had a communities and schools information only report from Dorothy Hinton. And then the third item was our school safety plans, which is up for approval. And at this time, I'd like to make a motion to approve those school safety plans.
Second.
Awesome. So motion was made by Board Member Edwards, seconded by Board Member Chavis. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. All right, item number 11, Academic Services and Accountability Committee, Mrs. Thomas Bullock.
Yes, good evening. The Academic Services and Accountability Committee met. We discussed the single field trip, out of state field trip with Mr. White. I would like to move that the full board accept the single field trip.
Second.
All right, motion was made by Mrs. Thomas Bullock, seconded by Board Member Gray. Is there any discussion regarding the field trip? Hearing none, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 12, the superintendent's report.
So good evening. I just want to encourage parents to continue to visit our Nash County Schools website. The latest information, we've got parent workshops, the holiday concerts are up there now, and Connect, Inform, Engage. So please visit. Also a shout out to the Best of the Best art exhibit was Saturday at the Bel Air Center for the best of our art students in Nash County Public Schools. We also had a CTE showcase that was at Brown Auditorium on Tuesday. And the Village had their first career fair on Thursday, also at Brown Auditorium. The winter break, our early release days are December 20th through the 21st because of exams for high schools. And we have no school from December 22nd through January 5th. So have a happy holidays.
Awesome. Thank you, Dr. Ellis. Well, 2023 has been a year filled with growth and great accomplishments. We are so very thankful for all of the hard work, dedication, and sacrifices made by the employees in our school district. I'd also like to thank my colleagues and Dr. Ellis for answering the call of duty whenever and wherever I needed you to do so. As we approach the winter break, I want to encourage students and parents to make time for self-care and allow yourselves time to rest and slow down. Lastly, let us also remember and support the families that have lost loved ones this year, including our Nash County Public Schools family and the Board of Education. And I'll close with just a reminder of some upcoming meetings. Committee meetings will be held on Thursday, January 4th at 5:00 p.m. Our January work session and board meeting will be January 8th at 5:00 and the board meeting January 8th at 6:30. And if there's no further business to come before this board on this evening, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion made by Board Member Sharp, seconded by Board Member Jenkins. All in favor, please let it be known by the sign. Is there any discussion on that? All right, all in favor, please let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Have a wonderful evening and a great break.